Hey, 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 what's up, brothers and sisters, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen? We have an announcement hot off the presses. Colin Kaepernick. Remember that superstar quarterback that was better than most of the people that was playing last year, who wasn't even going to be given a shot? That Colin Kaepernick, that guy? Well, guess what? His case with the NFL is going to trial. Being an arbitrator. Okay? The arbitrator looked at the case. Oh, and there's a whole hell of a lot there. All right. Now, to understand the significance of this, you have to understand the purpose of the arbitrator for the NFL and the players union. All right, his job is to make sure there isn't going to be any frivolous thing, and that there is enough evidence for the case to be seen by a judge, dare I say, um, throughout the whole court process. That's his job. All right, the arbitrator. Now, in this, we're going to discuss a couple of things here, because there is a clear message in this story that for you brothers with backbone, some of the times, regardless of how long it takes and what it takes, when we know we're right and have some recourse, if we have the money, which he did, fight the system. Period. And some of the times we have to fight the system collectively. It is a thing that is becoming more and more difficult to do because the simps are as destructive as the black women that they worship. All right. And so you have to keep yourself among real men and people that really have your back. All right. This dude here really manned up like a brother. Understand this. This dude here sacrificed like a true brother. While all the while all the rest were afraid to say what was right, what was going on, and what the truth was, for a little bit of trinkets and dollars that they were getting from the man that was causing all the hell. You had a few, like Shannon Sharp, that spoke out and said, no, this is wrong. Then you even had Skip Bayless on his side. All right. It's the thing that gave their FS1 show much clout. Here's the thing. You had many, many simps, though, that were former players in the league that did way worse than this dude did, which was to take a knee. And I have part of the Star Spangled Banner. You know, what we commonly refer to as the national anthem. For those of you who may have forgotten, because my old channel was taken down, but may have forgotten a lot about this, I'll try to find his old videos as this stuff was going on, because now it becomes relevant, and put them up. I will have to look on my I got like a couple of hard drives, but need to put them back up. This dude had a lot going for him in order for this to happen. The arbitrator to say, oh hell, yeah, this thing needs to go to trial. Now the NFL need to figure out what their next step is going to be. Because if this goes to trial, the NFL is going to look like the same slave drivers we've been talking about, the black women, and that we've been seeing since before the Civil War. All right, and you know them NFL contracts are something else. And these men are sacrificing life and limb for the entertainment of Caucasian people. Let's not forget that. And when I say life, I'm talking about the CTE, these brain injuries and diseases that football players get. I'm talking about the white and the black ones. It's no joke. All right? It's no joke. So before I really get into it, let me greet everybody. Hovorten, Hardu, Gudag, Ola, Oi to the Bang. Bonjour, mes amis. Kedu bawani konnichiwa. Ni hao ma. Sani bonani. Jumbo habarigani. Assalamu alaikum. And shalom to my brothers out there. And let's not forget to get those thumbs up. To donate, my PayPal me link will be in the description box. Like, share, subscribe. When you subscribe, click the bell. And when you click the bell, click all. Because this YouTube crap is good about hiding information. And hey, y'all, share this video. If not amongst the simps, share it amongst the men. All right, so this is what happened. This was the reporter was Ryan Nani, right? And this is today. All right, SB Nation. That's the report I kind of took, right? Because they add a lot more to their reporting of it. All right, the arbitrator hearing Colin Kaepernick's collusion case against the NFL ruled against the league today after the NFL requested dismissal of the case on the grounds that Colin Kaepernick and his legal team had not presented sufficient evidence to proceed. Under Article 17, Section 7 of the current collective bargaining agreement, the appointed arbitrator in an anti-collusion matter may determine whether or not the complaint's evidence is sufficient to raise a genuine issue of material fact. And he has the power to dismiss the case if the evidence is insufficient. Y'all understand what he's saying, right? When the news is he's not dismissing the case, but he's going to move it forward to trial. Okay, and so this was a tweet statement for from the what's this statement of system arbitrator concerning complaint brought by Colin Kaepernick. On August 28, 2018, the system arbitrator denied the NFL's request that he dismiss Colin Kaepernick's complaint, alleging that his ability to secure a player contract since becoming a free agent in March 2017 has been due to agreement amongst team owners and the NFL that violates Article 17, Section 1 of the collective bargaining agreement between the NFL and the NFL Players Association Union. Excuse me. This is Stephen B. Burbank. All right, and this was a tweet. The NFL twits set themselves up for this tweet. Okay, so this was a tweet that was sent out, right? So this is where we are. Now, before we go into, let me say, this is why we can't have crap right now unless we do it as individuals. Because we have to be careful of the groups we keep, because a lot of these so-called wannabe black men are just ain't nothing but Sambos. Remember, not Uncle Tom's. Sambo is the one that beat Uncle Tom to force him to give up the location of the slaves. All right, so let's get it correct. The wicked ones are the ones that want to browbeat you for having independent thought. You know, independent of the so-called new community that is run by the women, where these little simps allowed these jacked up, ate up females to be their backbone. All right, and that's going to be something else. That's going to be another story. All right, so the guy says it doesn't mean, the reporter says this, it doesn't mean Kaepernick is more likely to win. To me, that's exactly what it means. That he's more likely to win. It doesn't mean he'll definitely win, but he is more likely to win. So he writes this, so, and remember, so he breaks this down, all right? Not necessarily. Remember, the arbitrator's sole job on this motion is to determine whether there are any material questions of fact. At the hearing, Kaepernick, as the complaining party, has the burden, understand this, he has the burden of providing a clear preponderance of the evidence on two things. One, that the league or its franchise engaged in collusion behavior. And two, that in doing so, Kaepernick suffered economic damage. Now, the economic damage is easily proven because he's not making the money he would be making had he been playing. But the first one has a higher threshold, right? Now, he goes and breaks down preponderance. So I'll read it so y'all understand. Preponderance of the evidence is often thought of having more than 50% of the total evidence favoring your case, and is much lower standard than beyond a reasonable doubt. The burden of proof of the prosecution, the prosecution has in a criminal case. All right, so remember, since this is a lawsuit, remember this. The reason why, think about this, y'all. The reason why people who think that their family members or whatever are a victim of wrongful death, say by the police, and the police get off and then they win the lawsuit, because when we're talking about lawsuit, we're talking about civil. Civil is generally the preponderance of evidence. Think about that. A civil suit is generally the preponderance of evidence. And that's what this is. They violated his ability to work, and they violated the collective bargaining agreement. That's what's being alleged here. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but somebody who is a lawyer, in the comment section, maybe you can answer to this. But I'm thinking he has a pretty good chance of winning in court, because because this is going to be a civil case, because we're talking about money. That is going to be the 50% threshold. So I'm saying his chances are pretty good. I don't know, but for those of you that are lawyers, in the comment section, let me know if I'm right or wrong about this. All right. Now, he goes on to say, summary judgment exists to prevent the unnecessary time and expense of taking a case that has no merit to the finish line. So, hold on, let me finish reading this. Today's ruling doesn't mean that Colin Kaepernick is going to win his case, but it means he's going to have a very viable shot. That, or the NFL just decides to settle and pay Kaepernick some sum of money. Let's say like a lot of money. Let's say like what Brady's been getting since, we don't know, he could have been better than Brady. We know he was on his way. Let's just say that. Oh, and punitive damages. Let's just say that. All right. Remember, the summary judgment exists to prevent unnecessary time and expense of a case that has no merit. So if they say we're booting this to court, that means his case has a lot of merit. All right? Understand this. Oh, and who stood with him? Crickets. Now, you had a few. You had a few people that stood with him. But what's most important is you had old school players and a bunch of them, like Jim Brown and stuff like that, that came out and did not stand with him. I need to put those videos back up. All right. Now, I wanted to get into this. In Time magazine, the perilous fight, national anthem protests led by Colin Kaepernick are fueling the debate about privilege, pride, and patriotism. But see, he wasn't doing it because he was anti-flag, although he brought awareness to what the Star Spangled Banner actually said to many people. And just in case y'all forgot, I put it up here to remind you. And you can pay attention to what's in yellow. All right. So, why are Afro men dishonoring this man that took a knee because he was tired of people, unarmed Afro men being shot by the police, and some unarmed thugs and unarmed black men too? See, that's what this was all about. Police brutality. No, it wasn't even about police brutality. It was police unaccountability after them murdering someone. The government and all the rest of that stuff made that about the flag. Okay. They made it about the flag, the Star Spangled Banner. Okay. Well, take a look at it. The national anthem, which is the Star Spangled Banner, there is a reason that you've only heard one verse. Outside of this is a stupid song for a national anthem. This is one of the dumbest songs. A senator wrote, made this a national anthem about 1950s or 60s. I'll get that back again. But a white senator made this a national anthem. This was newly dubbed the national anthem around then. Of all the songs they could have picked, that's kind of like patriotic, I was thinking America the Beautiful. But you couldn't have that because they had in it how they robbed us of our land and then enslaved us and then tried to make us forget who we were so we didn't realize that we were here first. So here's that third verse. And where is that band who wantonly swore that the havoc of war and the battle's confusion, a home and a country shall leave us no more? Their blood has washed out their foul footsteps, pollution. No refuge could save the hireling and the slave from the terror of flight that's running, or the gloom of the grave. And the Star-Spangled Banner in triumph does wave, or the land of the free and the home of the slave. I know y'all read Brave. No, you're still a slave. When people can systematically take away your rights and you take it just like that, then you're a slave. And this dude was like, I know my rights, and looked like he's about to get paid. So my final thoughts is this. We need to stay away from the simps and the BAW, start standing up for ourselves, and maybe we might win some battles if we choose to fight. But you can't win nothing if you don't fight for nothing. With that said, I'm out.